I don't know if I have to hit that other. Oh, what's going on, everybody? We are the Defenders of Comics, and we are going to talk tonight about Jupiter's Legacy and some other things. But first, we have Ace and Ref with me. You can say
Hey guys,
hi.
what's up?
Hey,
Hey,
y'all.
hey.
Hey.
Hey. All right, so first off, before we really dive deep into Jupiter's Legacy, what did you all think about? What'd you all, first, have you read the comics about it? Second, what did you think about the actual Netflix series?
I liked it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciated the series, and as a maybe not that great of a fan of the comic series. I mean, this was one of the last parts of Mark Millar's installations in the image world in Millar world. I thought it was kind of weak, but I really enjoyed the Netflix series.
I did not read any part of the comics. I did like the series. I got a lot of flack for my TikTok that I made about people need to go run and go watch it as fast as they can because, in my opinion, it was so different than Invincible, so different than Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It was
Yeah,
trying very hard to tell a story, not just it's going to be
yeah,
action, 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 action. And I enjoyed
yeah.
it.
I mean, I thought I will say that first episode was stellar, and then it did slow a bit. So if you've got the ADD quality of most viewers these days, then they may get agitated by the fact that it's this amazing first episode with all this action and superhero, you know, action, and then it does slow down a bit and it gets more into the characters and development. And at times it is a little slowly paced. Like we were saying before we went on air, kind of thought personally for me, I thought episode four and five were a little too slow. But man, overall, I thought it was great. And I always kind of use a barometer of when you watch a show or a movie, and sometimes if you find yourself thinking about it later, or like, man, that was really cool, or ooh, I can't wait to see that part, or I'm finding myself really interested in this, that's a good indicator that it's really sticking with you.
Yeah.
It's like, we watched Mortal Kombat on HBO Max and I loved it, but it kind of felt like after it was over. I was like, whereas like Godzilla and Kong, I was like, man, I want to watch it again. That was just phenomenal. And so Jupiter's Legacy for me really got me excited about it. And Ref and I, we're huge Mark Miller fans, or Millar. And although I would say that I probably enjoyed Jupiter's Legacy a little more than Ref, that was one of the ones maybe we differed slightly on. I mean, it's not like you hated it, Ref, but it was definitely. I know it was not one of your favorite Millar properties, where usually he hits a home run almost every time.
Mm.
Yeah.
And for you, this one was like, I don't know, a double, but
Yeah, it was
for me, it
almost
was
a
like
rehash. I mean,
yeah, for me, it was kind of a triple. I mean, I really liked it, but but even having said that, it wasn't like, my all-time favorite is Starlight, Nemesis, and Superior for Millar. Those properties are far and away better for me than Jupiter's Legacy, even. So
And before we dive deep into this, I want to say if you are watching it live, tell us what you all thought of Jupiter's Legacy, and if you're watching it as the playback, put it in the comments and say what you thought also about it.
hey, and if you
do
guys
it.
really like what we do here, please subscribe to our channel. That really warms our heart and also makes us feel like you're out there with us. Or, subscribe, or, give us a thumbs up so that we can get to more
Please,
out there.
please, sir, would you please subscribe? I'm so poor, I can't feed my family, and I can't do anything. So if you would please subscribe, it helps us a lot. Thank you.
Oh my God. We just lost 30,000 subscribers.
Hey, I'm begging you, please help us, please.
Man, that accent just went to Southern at the same time of that.
It's a combo, and it goes up and down.
If you could say it like Ozzy Osbourne, I think we could get.
Oh yeah. Share. You subscribe. Share. Subscribe. All right, back on track.
The whole thing just went kaboom. We had 10,000 people watching and went down to 2. Just to let you know.
I feel like we just gained 10,000.
Oh yeah.
All right, so the first thing is there are really, really, really big mixed reviews with Jupiter's Legacy. And I still feel the main reason that there is big mixed reviews, I'm not going to sit here and try to say that the acting is fantastic. But a lot of people are pissed off at the acting. And they're comparing it, which ticks me off even more. They're comparing it to Invincible. They wanted that much action from this compared to Invincible, and you're just not going to get it.
It's like, guys, Invincible's a cartoon.
Yeah.
And that's not a diss. It's just they can do nonstop action because it's a cartoon.
Right.
Well, and
they can draw whatever they want.
Well, Invincible is such a, I don't know, it's so indicative of the comics. I mean, I felt like in Invincible, every issue was pretty action packed.
Yeah.
I didn't think it really missed. There, as much as I love Millar, like we get a good character development. This is for more mature readers, not necessarily that Invincible isn't, but you get more character development with Millar, which I appreciate.
Yeah. Well, let's look at Jupiter's Legacy. So on Rotten Tomatoes currently, it stands at 38% critic rating, which is rotten, which is not good. It's pretty bad. But here's the thing that you always want to look at, and I don't go by Rotten Tomatoes exclusively, but you get a sense for the audience scores where the real rating is, because we're the ones really watching it. And so it's like 74%, and which is really good. It's a fresh score. That means most of the viewers are responding to it and giving it a favorable view. So
is there any,
I think that's good.
Is most shows that big of a difference?
Not most, but you do have some where the critics just want to pile on it. And the best example, of course, is Snyderverse movies.
Oh God, yes.
You've got Batman v Superman. One of the better ones maybe was Venom, where the critics just slashed it to death.
Loved it.
And it's huge with the audience. Made 800 million worldwide, so that's why we're getting a sequel. So you do have sometimes those huge differences between what critics have their nose up at, and then the audience is like, screw you, we thought it was great.
Yeah. So do you feel then, I'm hoping that you feel that this is one of those things that the audience is saying, this is great.
Yeah, I think, we can't deny that it's not a grand slam, where you get the critics and the audiences, 98%. It's like Invincible is like a 98% critic and like a 90-something% audience. So it's been hugely received. Whereas this is like bombing with critics, but the audience is there. And then, here's the deal. It's not like box office where I miss box office about some things because, Sunday morning you get up, you check the internet, boom, you see what the box office of the movie you're tracking was, and you'll know instantly if it was a hit with the fans or the viewers. The streaming world's different, but Netflix is starting to show their top 10 every day, like what's number one on Netflix every day. And this is in every country that Netflix is in. And so the good news for Jupiter's Legacy is that it's been consistently number one across the world since it debuted, and not in just the top 10, #1 every day. It hasn't moved. So to me, that's a really good indicator for viewers. And Netflix, I'm sure, they don't give a, yeah, they want critical recognition, but they're going to want viewers mostly. That's how they'll gauge it.
Don't you feel that this has to have, and I hope it does, but we all know Netflix is Netflix. This has to have at least a second season, or it's even going to be a worse dud than what it actually is.
Well, and it'll cut the cord on Millar World, which it would be devastating.
Uh-oh. We got some problems.
So,
Come on, Ace,
Help,
come back
Coach,
to
we've
us.
lost you.
Me, it's you.
Ace!
I see Ref just
Let's
fine.
see your ugly mug anyway.
Is it Ace?
It's Ace.
Yeah, Ace is gone. Your mug is gone, bro.
Ace!
Come back!
Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen.
Jeff's face is frozen. I'm here.
No, it's yours. It's 100% you. Now you're back.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, you're back.
Good? Are you good?
It's my shitty router.
You're back. Get that
Dish,
hamster running faster.
Go screw yourself.
Wait.
Dish.
If you want Ace to get a better router, I would suggest that you subscribe at the bottom of our channel so that maybe we can get a few dollars so Ace can
Hey, Shay, please help me get a better router.
Shay.
You need to get that hamster running a little bit faster. We need
Shay.
What I was saying is, like, this could be devastating to Millar World. Do you agree?
Oh, damn it.
No, you're frozen again.
What the hell, man?
Hell, no one wants to see.
Look at that smug. He looks like the Joker all of a sudden.
Look at that bug. Oh, my God.
Oh, wait. What are you going?
We don't want to see your junk. Get him.
We're going to have to boot him. Oh, he's
We
back.
lost all our viewers. We're now to 0.
What are you doing, y'all? Come on, Ace. Oh, here he is.
Here he is.
He's back. Okay.
I'm here.
This is high quality.
Okay.
High quality streaming right here. Oh, he's gone again. Nope, he's back.
There he is.
Hey, in all seriousness, though, let's be serious for a second. Our local internet is having issues.
Well, who do you
I
have?
don't know if we have Spectrum.
Oh, so do I, and I'm fine.
Well, I know. Well, yeah. Well, other people are having issues as well.
Pay your bills, Ace. Pay your.
I think the only people having issues are the northeast or southeast side, southwest side of the town.
That's always up.
That's those uppity up people that live by a golf course.
He's frozen again.
What was that?
He's frozen.
Hey, come back.
Hey.
He's back, I think.
Get it, Ace.
I'm back.
Okay. All right, so we've lost everybody. We have a very
We're talking to ourselves now.
Comedic interview here. Okay, what did you think about Lisa Bibb's performance?
Oh, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I reckon we can.
Leslie Bibb, I guess I should say. Well, I don't know why I said Lisa Bibb.
Yeah, Leslie Bibb. Yeah, I would have to say, I thought she'd be better. I thought in the flashback scenes, she was pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was, though, when she was in the modern scenes. It seems she was pretty stiff and not very good. So when they talk about actors and actresses on the show, she did kind of stick out a little bit as not quite there on the level of Brainwave and then Utopian. Like I thought Josh Duhamel I thought he was freaking great, man.
I agree with that. And
then what's the guy's name? Ben? Oh gosh, I don't know if it's Shepard or whatever that played. He was the guy from the Exorcist TV show that Ref and I liked so much.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he did phenomenal too.
Mhm.
I thought he did great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I thought Josh Duhamel did. I thought he was amazing in both the flashbacks and in
Yeah,
the present thought.
totally
And
agree.
I think so. What do you guys think of like the different dynamics of? I mean, is this the same as every superhero show? I thought the idea of uh, the kind of the chase after Utopian, the chase of filling Utopian. He's old. He's not gonna be able to do it much longer, and his son like feeling like crap, like he can't fulfill those roles. Now, I mean, I'm only halfway through the season, so I maybe not completely with the storyline, but I thought that dynamic made this more of a unique show.
Yeah. I I want to
I've actually
say,
preferred. Oh, go ahead.
well, I was going to say I do like the struggle of the family part of this, to
Mhm.
where they are having everyday struggles. It's not just a perfect superhero family. It's almost like the
Yeah,
Superman
you're
and
right.
Lois, where there's family struggles. I mean, they got a daughter that is as big of a problem as that. No father wants that problem, and they have it. And
No, no.
and then the whole superhero part of them, on that, the rule is we don't kill anybody. And you've seen the first episode, and sorry if this is a spoiler for anybody watching, but when Brandon decided to take the life of the villain, I mean,
Yeah, Black Star.
if he wouldn't have done that, they wouldn't have even been here.
That's
And
what Mom reflected on. It's
yeah,
like if you didn't do this, we would be gone.
yeah,
And I thought that was. I think that's the cool thing part. The cool part of this show is that that typical Marvel DC. We don't kill people. We don't do this. And also this idea of if I didn't, we'd be screwed.
yeah.
Really.
Yeah, I mean it's a weird dynamic because I love. I didn't ref. Let me ask you this first. In the comic, was the code a big deal? I don't remember
No,
them calling it the code or a
no,
focus. I mean, I don't want to make spoilers, but it's
it
like,
wasn't.
yes, there was a. It was just kind of conceived that the Utopian was antiquated in how he handled things, and they got sick of it. But it wasn't called the code, and everyone lived by the code. Do you remember that? I don't remember
No,
that.
I mean, nothing came up about this no kill code. This no.
Yeah.
Oh,
So they definitely made that more of a thing for the show.
mhm. But
But you're right. I believe. Oh, go ahead.
no, I think that's what made the show unique, and I guess I understand why they would do that is because they wanted to make the Utopians way different than Brandon's way, of
Right.
because again the way he did it back in the 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, etc., is way different than maybe we would
Yeah.
solve it now,
Yeah.
which is
No, that's
cool
true.
and unique for me.
Hmm. And there were times in the comics where I can remember, they'd have these stories with Batman and then Spider-Man are the ones I remember, that especially Spider-Man. There were these big debates. Spider-Man was no kill, no kill, no kill. And Batman was to a degree at times too. And it's not like I was championing anything to be anyone to be killed, but it was kind of like at some point you're like a police officer, and
Careful.
it starts to, yeah, I know, but at some point it becomes like, oh my gosh, guys, it should always be your goal not to kill. But there's going to be some instances if you're going to be engaging in the kind of fights and battles and decisions that you may not have a choice. Like we won't spoil it for Ref, but Coach, in that last episode, there was definitely, that was the whole debate. Like, either way, you're going to lose. You're going to do this and kill, or something bad's going to happen. And it's like, you know, I think most of us would watch that episode and be like, I don't want to be immoral, but it's like you guys are almost sort of law enforcement. If my family member's at risk, I'm gonna take out anyone to save my family. So that's not
Right.
even a question. That's not
Right.
even a question. So
Well, I mean, when you think of BVS or really Justice League, like you go back and you see Batman finally kicking some ass in the sense that I don't I don't necessarily think that he gave a shit about whether that person died or
oh,
lived. Like,
he killed multiple people in BVS, and that's why all the fans were so mad. Like Batman doesn't kill, and it's like, yes, that's typically true, but you might want to go back and watch Batman from '89 and Batman Returns when he gleefully stuck the dynamite down that guy's belt and
Yeah.
threw him in a hole and he blew up.
Prove it. Prove it. He died. Prove it.
Yeah, I guess he took it off in time and lived.
He was just never able to produce other kids.
But
he
I
was
like
the
how.
ice lair.
Yeah, that's right. I do like how this show though makes that an issue. Like, oh man, all these comics of they don't kill, and I think that's a good way to present it, especially to kids. But yeah, they just took the old comic trope of you don't kill as a hero, and then like, well, sometimes we may not have a choice. So you're telling me you want me to sacrifice the life of my loved one because I don't kill? It's I thought it was well done.
Yeah. So what'd you all think about Chloe?
Thought she did a good job.
I thought she was actually good. She was right there with Josh Duhamel for me. All right.
Yeah,
And the
she's
brother, the brain.
Paragon.
Yeah.
Oh, Brainwave. Yeah, yeah. Yeah. Chloe, I think, did a really good job. I mean, she was supposed to be unlikable to a point, but it wasn't to the extent where you're like, oh my gosh, I can't stand her. So she did a good job balancing. She's supposed to be a shit and unlikable at this point, but you kind of recognize that she's struggling and she knows she shouldn't be so far down the rabbit hole. So I thought she did really good. Yeah.
I did not like the part where she is modeling with the car and she picks up the car and they have that pose and it is exactly Superman in the first comics where he's holding the car over his head. I thought that I
Well,
didn't
yeah,
like that. It was too far.
a little homage, a little cheesy.
And then just
But
throws the freaking sports car and just demolishes it.
well, now that was cool. But
And the feminists
I
in their bras. I get it.
I think yeah, I think my other MVP. I'm loving Dutch, man. That guy is super cool. He's a great. I don't know where he's comes from, but I think he does a great job. I mean, he kind of if shaved off the mohawk, he's got the swagger and almost a little bit of the looks of Jensen Ackles from Supernatural, Dean, and I really like him. I like his character. Extremely well done. I haven't read the comic. I kind of know where things are headed, and I mean, they definitely made changes to the comic with this series, but outside of one major change, it's been pretty true. So I guess we can talk about the change. We can go ahead and do it. It's not a spoiler because it didn't happen.
Okay.
But Ref, do you remember in the comic? I mean, like the first issue or two, it was very Game of Thrones. So like in the first issue, like I said, or two, I mean, Utopian dies. He's the big hero, and
Wow.
this evil plan comes to the forefront, and he gets taken out just like Ned Stark style. I mean, he's out. Like it's a shock, and so they definitely didn't do that in the series. So,
Huh.
That was a big change. I am too. You think about it, and you got to figure that the writers were like, guys, we can't do that. They're just gonna say we're ripping Game of Thrones off, even though we
It's true.
Well, they didn't do it before the book of Game of Thrones, but they did it. The comic came out before the TV show, but I'm sure they were like, yeah, we got to change something up. That's too Game of Thrones. But I'm glad they didn't. I agree.
Well, could you imagine Invincible, they killing Omni-Man, like issue, the third episode? Like, I mean,
Right? Yeah.
it
Be like,
would be
what the
the same
hell?
thing.
Right.
I mean, that would really screw up the thing.
Exactly. So, I mean, I gotta say, overall, I give the show pretty high marks. I mean, maybe an 8.5 for me.
Mhm.
Like that first episode was a 10,
Yeah.
and really the last two episodes for me were like a 10.
Mhm.
So, but overall, there was some drag. It was a little dragging, maybe a little bit. They could have paced some things better, but I think it's a huge start, and we all better hope they have a second season, because it did end on a hell of a cliffhanger.
I mean, I thought the acting was great. I mean, I think the action scenes probably can't really live up to the Marvels and the DCs
Yeah.
of this world, but I really do believe the acting was great. Like, I think, Ace, what you've said, before of Brainwave, I thought Brainwave was awesome. I thought his character was sketchy, and then he wasn't, and then again, I haven't completed it, but I hope that he turns on the right side, because I think he's just an awfully cool character.
If having read the book, if you've read the book, then you will be pleased with how things end up.
Thank heavens.
But at the same time, kind of sad because it's like, oh damn, I really like him.
I'm gonna give it an 8, and my mind would change if there isn't another season, because they should have done it differently. If there's not going to be a season 2, with how much backstory that you went, and the effort that you went. But at the same time, I think us, the fans, we go too far on not allowing. We need to understand that nobody's going to have Marvel's expense rate that they can do and just throw money at the technology and all the everything. It's just the CGI is what it is in Jupiter's Legacy, and they do the best they can with what they're able to do for the budget. And I think if you're comparing the effects to Falcon and Winter Soldier to compare to Jupiter's Legacy, that's not fair, in my opinion. I thought it was a good story, and I think it's time for something different. We need something a little different, and be a story behind it, not just boom bam in your face and go to the next one.
Well, yeah, I mean, Netflix has bought Mark Miller World. It's called Miller World. They bought that property, all his stuff. So he signed like a 7-year contract that he's working for him, but he sold his whole company to them, and so now he makes comics for and published by Netflix. So they were banking on his books to be a rival IP to Marvel and DC, because as much money as Netflix makes, with all the other streaming services, they recognize we have to have our own little superhero universe going here to compete. We're still the big dog, but if we don't start doing that, we're going to lose out, because the two biggest comic properties in the world, DC and Marvel, are with somebody else. So, they did that. And so, part of me thinks Netflix, with their billions and billions of dollars, maybe could have made some of the effect shots a little better.
Even the superhero landings weren't the greatest.
I gotta say, the wire work was not great at times. You could see them kind of like, I'm like, damn guys, Christopher Reeve landed smoother than you did.
Like
in
when
1978.
when the mom's outside the daughter's apartment, and sorry, ref, if this is too far.
Spoil!
And when she just flies away, It like takes 5 minutes for her to finally go up in the air and go away. Did you notice that?
I didn't notice that, but
It
I
was
believe
so,
it.
it was so
Yeah.
slow. It was just like okay, it's
Yeah.
just awkward.
Yeah.
Well, and
So there's a
and
few things that were a little dodgy. Yeah. Go
well,
ahead.
even as amazing as that first episode was, like even that big fight scene was, there was maybe some problems with the choreography of the fight. I mean, it seemed a little static at times. I mean, it seemed a little.
Yeah, they weren't. I mean, it was a little like, you know,
I mean,
can't you cut? Like, you can do some better
even
things.
even shows like that got tanked reviews, like Iron Fist and whatnot, did way better of choreography. I think that's maybe what they did so amazing was
Yeah.
choreography of the fight scenes.
So there's definitely room for improvement, but I think they've got a good foundation though to build on. And here's my opinion, and you guys tell me if I'm out of base, but out of line. But I really, really like the costume designs. I thought most of the costumes looked freaking great. I mean, they had a really good balance of kind of a classic 40s costume with making it look not cheesy and spandexy, but it did. I mean, I don't know. I thought they
I mean,
looked
just
really good, man.
yeah, I mean, just reflect back to what they've done in the past. Like they retreat on costume designs. Anything from the comics, they just like crumple up a throwaway and say, let's redo that. You know,
Yeah, a lot of times they do.
and you know what? I don't think they did that here. I think they
No, it's great.
took the basic ideas and they just accentuated it.
Yeah,
Which,
and I think if it's a superhero thing, be big, bold colors. I mean, it is what it is. I think they did good on that.
sure.
Yeah, I mean, here's my little sidebar though. Is like, yeah, and Ref knows this too about me. I always get super annoyed if you do a comic property and you dumb it down. You know, like I'm still fumingly pissed to this day about freaking Iron Fist. And you had 2 effing seasons of Iron Fist and you never put him in his damn costume. It's the stupidest thing ever. Like, why are you doing the show? Just call it something else. Call it, Karate JoJo. I don't know. Don't call it Iron Fist though. It's the stupidest thing ever. So yes, it's very nice when you're going to do a superhero property, you go all in on the comic or the costume. If you don't want to do that, then don't bother doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. All right. What do you want to roll to next? You want to talk about...
Hey, guys. Let's talk about the Venom trailer, man. That was probably very slow news week, by the way, everyone. Very slow news week. However, Monday did start off with the Venom trailer.
Amazing.
So what did you guys think of the Venom trailer? Let's hear it.
I loved it. You get the comedy. You get the comedy of the symbiote.
Yeah, love it.
With Hardy's, Tom Hardy's.
It's pretty great.
I mean, I feel like as much as I hated Thor 3, in their forced comedy there, like
Ruff and I disagree on Thor 3, but he did not like it. I understand it. Not gonna criticize. Go ahead.
Not gonna criticize.
I reckon we don't need to get into that. Well, wrestle.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is Cork. But I think the comedy. I think the introduction of comedy. I think the introduction of the with Venom and Tom Hardy is just great. I mean, you got the comedy piece. You also got the badassery and how he tries to deal with having the symbiote. I think that's pretty great. You can't go wrong with that.
I don't know about you all, but I had a little bit of a Little Shop of Horrors feel, which I'm gonna say is a good thing. I don't think it was a bad thing. I think it was a comedy. The Venom was like the plant, feed me and I can't eat
Yeah.
humans or whatever
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah.
I just thought it was
Look at that.
hilarious on that kind of stuff.
Look at that.
And
Yeah,
man, what he had to
yeah.
eat for breakfast, woo!
That was a really good scene, man. I thought that was
It
great.
was unreal.
Good comedic stuff there, but not, it wasn't cheesy. It was like, this is funny.
Yeah.
I think when Venom first came out, I do remember like it getting savaged on the critic reviews. I was like, oh man, Venom is gonna tank this weekend, and everyone projected it to tank. They're like, oh, it's not MCU, it's made by Sony, it's gonna be shit. And man, I remember being very excited because they had a huge opening weekend, like I don't know, $80 million or something like that, huge. And it was like, wow, Venom. It didn't matter that the critics savaged it, huge hit. And then it didn't have the second weekend, plummet. Like some movies will open big, and people are like, yeah, this sucked, and then it just plummets. No, Venom kept going. So it resonated with people, and they stayed with that kind of tone. And I think I thought the first trailer was really good. What did you guys think though of Carnage and Woody Harrelson?
You can't go wrong with Woody Harrelson.
I agree.
No.
Sorry, he is the perfect Carnage, man. This creepy serial killer.
Yeah.
Toby, and I mean, whereas Venom has some likable qualities, where Eddie Brock really has some likable qualities, Carnage does not.
Yeah,
And
Cletus is evil, evil, evil.
Very-
He's Joker evil. He's no
Mhm.
redeeming qualities. You're right.
Yeah, and I think Woody, he's awesome at it. I mean, he makes him look insane. I mean, the old boy is insane. I mean, you can't take it away from Cletus. I mean, he's just not right.
No, and I think Woody's a great actor to portray that.
Mhm.
Woody Harrelson, let's give a shout out to Woody Harrelson. I really like him as an actor, and I mean, imagine that he came from. And Ref, you're not too young to have watched Cheers. I mean, like Woody on Cheers.
Love Cheers.
He should have been typecast as Woody from Cheers. He should never have really
Good point.
outgrown that such a
No.
iconic role. You're like, dude, you're never really going to do anything else because you're Woody. And he has had a phenomenal career after Cheers. It's like, it's really very rare for those guys to come from the sitcom world like he did and have the success he's had.
I mean, he's a wide range. He's such a unicorn, like, because he's such a wide range. Like, I loved him in Hunger Games. I thought he was personable enough, but kind of, weird enough to be a little bit different, to be not your atypical, heroine, So I love Woody. Like from Cheers till now.
He doesn't get enough credit for how he can play such a wholesome character he can play evil characters. I mean, he can do the whole gambit, which is, we won't go on to the Woody Harrelson show here, but I really like the guy and I think he deserves a lot of credit. So I'm excited he's in this movie.
He can play Goofy too, like Kingpin, man.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
White man can jump.
Well, yeah, and then he can do action. He just does it all. Natural Born Killers.
Oh yeah.
Complete Psycho Evil.
True Detectives. I mean,
True Detective. I have not seen True Detective. I've got to watch
he was amazing in that.
I know. I need to watch that first season.
Mm-hmm.
What did you all think about the picture that's going around with the Daily Bugle? What the graphic looked like and how everybody's saying this is from Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man or Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. What did you all think?
Is that the Daily Bugle that they have? That he had? Yeah. And there, even some people are saying it says Avengers on there.
Well, when he turns the
So
page, and I don't know if I can show that real fast,
yeah,
but when he turns the page and it's fast, it if you pause it the right time, you can see where it says Ingers. You don't see the whole
yeah,
Avengers.
right, yeah. You don't. It's yeah. So everyone's kind of speculating that's what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an Easter egg. You know, I think they're flirting with the whole idea that it's sort of set in the MCU, but not. You know, they're not going to define it where it's not set in the MCU, but they're not going to say it's officially is either. So I think they want to keep it open. And you know, we'll see what happens with Spider-Man in December for No Way Home with the whole multiverse stuff.
Are you
So
getting worried at all that it might not happen? That Garfield and Maguire won't be in it?
no, I'm not worried at all.
You just think
I don't,
they're all full of crap, basically.
oh yeah. Andrew Garfield lied his butt off. Yeah, dude, don't. We've talked about this before with somebody. Jason Momoa himself said he will punch you. He goes, "You can punch me in the face if I'm Aquaman." Guess what? He was Aquaman. Paul Rudd said, "I am not Ant-Man, nor have I ever been contacted about an Ant-Man movie." He was Ant-Man. So these guys are actors, obviously, for a living. So they're told like you cannot break this. Do not break. So they're gonna lie. I mean, they So don't believe a word the actors say when they say, "Oh, I haven't been contacted. I haven't talked about it. I don't. I know nothing about it. It's news to me." Baloney.
What about the girl
Absolute
that's
baloney.
in basically the Arkham Asylum of this world?
Yeah, that's Shriek. I'm not sure who the actress is. I think she's been in a ton of things. I think she was Calypso in the Pirates of the Caribbean movie, I think. Um, but yeah, she's going to be kind of the tag team for Carnage. Look her up, Shriek from Marvel Comics. She's a villain along with Carnage fighting Spider-Man. She's got, gosh, what does she got? Sound powers. So yeah, she's crazy, crazy evil like he is, escaping an asylum.
There were some people saying that they think this is going to be a mixture of a character between her and, is there a Scream?
Yes.
Yes, I heard that too. But Scream is a symbiote. And I don't know who the host of Scream is. I honestly don't remember. But there's been so many symbiote crossovers, and there's several symbiotes. Scream being one of them. We had Riot already in the first Venom movie. Then there's Phage, and Toxin.
Toxin.
There's a couple other ones too. Toxin's actually a hero, and here a little bit of trivia: the detective in the Venom trailer that you see reading the paper, and then you see the quick shot of Venom kind of wanting to bite his head off, but he doesn't. That actually is I forgot his name, but there's a hero cop that becomes a symbiote too, and he's named Toxin. So people are thinking, oh, Toxin's going to end up coming to the MCU. He probably will. He's a good guy, good symbiote, kind of like Venom. But mostly, and Scream kind of walks between the worlds too. She's not always evil, but the other ones are all evil.
Okay. Just different here.
So we'll see what happens.
What?
Has there been any comments lately on our chat?
Not right now, no. Not that I see.
What?
I saw. Pardon my blindness. I'm always following, sir. Name that movie.
Is there? Oh. Why didn't I not see these? Greg Kane, this is a hot mess expressed tonight. That's basically because of Ace. Leave it to Ace. Stupid question.
Ace.
Hey.
But where can I watch this show? Oh, Jupiter's Legacy is Netflix.
Oh, come on, man.
Come on, man.
And then Ben says, "Is Ref that good looking guy? That good looking in real life?" I don't know. Are you?
I think that I am.
I think that
Oh,
I am. What did you all think of what Carnage looked like?
Spoon.
Oh, badass.
You look good. I thought that last shot, the very, very last shot,
With
his
the
face,
stained glass in the
yeah, I
background?
thought he kind of looked a little bit like Riot in the first Venom movie. The face, I'm like, oh man, he looks a little similar, but it's one little shot. The other one looked great. I think he'll look really good in the movie. I'm not worried. So
Yeah,
yeah, this is one of my more. Go ahead.
I thought that shot with the stained glass window was pretty epic, actually.
Yeah, This is one of my more anticipated movies. I can't wait to see it. So
Are you
Yeah.
worried at all that they won't be able to do Carnage correctly? Like they won't go to the extent?
No,
no, I agree.
no,
No,
I think you got the right actor. I think you got the right CGI. I mean, if you can do Venom like you did in the first movie, you can do Carnage. I mean,
yeah. I mean, look,
Carnage is a
you're
red
right.
version of Venom.
It's like, guys, we don't need gore, blood, and guts. We were reading these comics in the 90s, okay? They didn't have blood and guts in Spider-Man comics. Yeah, he was a serial killer. Yeah, he killed people, but it wasn't graphic. So just because he does all these things or is that evil, I don't know that we need to see graphic
Yeah.
blood and what have you. So no.
I think
I mean, personally, I don't need it. I'm not worried about it.
I think a gigantic thing is what it said at the end, saying coming soon only in movie theaters.
Yeah, well, that's true. I mean, it's a Sony movie. They don't have a streaming service to supplement anything. So yeah, you're gonna have to see this one in theaters.
I think we're all at the point though where they got to figure something out on their end, because this is going to be the way of the future. That they're going to allow people to go to movies or watch it at home, whichever you prefer. Because if you don't, I think your audience is doing it. So if you don't cater to the audience, you're done. You won't get the money that you're hoping you'll get.
Well, yeah, and just to piggyback on that, today Disney had their earnings call and they announced that Shang-Chi and Free Guy will only have is it a 40-day window? Okay. So when a movie typically hits the theater, 3 months later it comes out on Blu-ray DVD. Well, they've announced with the release of these movies, they will only have a 40 or 45-day window and go straight to Disney Plus. So for a little over a month, they'll be in theaters exclusively. Then, bam! Not only is it 3 months typically, and then to Blu-ray, now 45 days, boom! It's on Disney Plus for you to watch.
I even think that's going to end up changing.
Yeah, I think all movies are gonna go to at least initially, to what Black Widow's doing on July 9th, which is in theaters, and then you can pay $29
Yep.
and watch it at home.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you right now, unless I go to a matinee and not buy any popcorn or soda, I can't take my kids and wife there for cheaper than $29.
Yeah, I told myself I was going to go see Godzilla and Kong and Mortal Kombat in the theater because I want to go back to the theater and I want to support our local theaters. And it's like, I haven't made it to either one. I've watched them both at home. It's like it's too easy to just put it on your TV.
We're all getting busier and busier. I mean, it just is what it
Yeah.
is.
And we don't live in a big metropolitan area where we can just drive a block or two and go hit a big theater.
Yeah.
It takes time to go down and drive back, and we're busy, and you get home and you're tired. You're like, oh, I don't want to go all the way down there. I'm just gonna turn it on at home.
Yep. It's too convenient. And to have that convenience and then have them now take it away, I don't
Yeah.
know if that's going to be a good strategy at all.
No, I mean, and really, Sony movies are the only movie company that doesn't have its own streaming, you know, service. You know, everybody else has, you know, Paramount Plus, Peacock, Disney Plus, HBO Max. All the big movie theaters, or excuse me, companies have their own streaming outlet to have that as an option. Sony doesn't, so they're gonna have to figure something out.
All right, that is all I got for Venom trailer.
Venom, be there.
I think I'm excited. I think it's gonna
Yeah, I'm
be really
excited
good.
too.
I do want to hit this real quick, and you all can say yay or nay. But it was a first of the week. Emily Blunt. I guess she was doing an interview, and was it Howard Stern? Was she on
I think it
Howard
was
Stern
Howard
doing
Stern.
the
Yeah.
interview? And the question came up about all the rumors going on with her and her husband John about them going to be in Fantastic Four. And
Yeah.
again, as an actor or actress, she said no one has called. The same line that, you know, they all do. But at the same time, that could be because no one called her, but they called their agent.
Yeah. Don't believe that part. Don't believe that part.
But what she said later really puzzles me if she is going to do it. And so I'll just quote it. She says, Blunt said superhero movies are not beneath her, but she is no longer sure the genre she wants to explore. I love Iron Man when I got offered Black Widow and was obsessed with Iron Man. And then she goes on saying, where is the part that she says, okay, Emily Blunt added, it's been exhausted. We are inundated. It's not only all the movies, it's the endless TV shows. Well, it's not to say I'd never want to play one. It just wouldn't be something so cool, like a really cool character, and then I'd be interested. I mean, that's going now to a little bit more of an extreme to just say I haven't been called.
And did she not say in the interview too that, because I saw it quoted just recently, she was like, I don't really even like superhero movies. I just don't. Like, she was like, I'm not dissing them. I just don't care for them.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, you know how Howard Stern is. I mean, he gets people to be real.
Yeah, push buttons.
And her saying that on his show does raise an eyebrow for me more than someone on the red carpet or some interviewer from YouTube. Hey, hey, Andrew Garfield, tell us about Spider-Man No Way Home.
Yeah.
It's not the same when you're talking to Howard Stern. So, yeah, I'd have to think, I don't know. I mean, it's not a slam dunk that she's not going to play Invisible Woman, but yeah, I don't know. This does seem a little less likely.
Part of me wonders, I mean, she picked Gulliver's Travel over being Black Widow.
Well, she didn't actually pick it. She wanted to be Black Widow, and she was offered the role. And they're like, hey, yeah. She goes, you got the role. Great. I'm going to go do Black Widow. Oh, no. It's going to be halfway. They want to start filming Iron Man when I'm only halfway through filming Gulliver's Travels, and I've already committed to Gulliver's Travels.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one of those, it was a real scheduling conflict, and yeah, it kind of sucked. I mean, it's like, it's not like you went and did, I don't know what other big movie was in 2010, but yeah, it wasn't like she was in Titanic or Avatar or something else,
She picked Gulliver's Travel, or she was in Gulliver's Travel.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, didn't we get lucky? I mean, and I'm not dissing Emily Blunt, but how Scarlett Johansson has really grasped Black Widow. I think we got lucky that it wasn't her.
Yeah, I mean, I actually love Emily Blunt, like, a lot. So I can't say that it couldn't have been cool to have her, but man, there is no criticism. There's no like, oh, I wish she would have been. No. Yeah, you're right. Scarlett Johansson is Black Widow, and it worked out how it was supposed to.
Yeah.
Emily Blunt's awesome though.
I do
freaking love Emily Blunt, like, really a lot. And it does kind of pain me to hear her say she doesn't like superhero movies because I desperately want her in something that's meaty, like a real, like Invisible Woman, Sue Richards. That would be perfect.
It'd be great that her and her husband would do it. I mean, because he's perfect for the spot, the part.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, what do you guys think about this? Because yeah, there's some people that are just being contrary because they can be contrarians. But I mean, it is taking on a life of its own on the internet, and to the point where it is going to be a little disappointing not to have them as Sue and Reed.
At this
because they're
point,
so freaking perfect.
totally agree. And at this point, everybody is. That is our focus. Is that it's going to be them.
Yeah.
And now, if it's not them, does that actually hurt the movie before the movie even comes out?
I mean, it'll be a little bit of like, dang, man. It's like, you don't. How perfect would it be for Krasinski and her to be the two? I mean, it'd just be perfect. But
an upgrade. Anything will be an upgrade from the last one.
Oh, that is true. That was.
Now,
I mean, oh my gosh.
At the same time,
horrendous.
I think they're more vital than the rumors going around that Zac Efron is going to be Human Torch. I think those two are more vital for that role than he is for that one.
I don't think Zac Efron would be that bad. As much as I scoff at that, I don't think Zac Efron would be that bad. I mean, he's kind of the thin, young Chris Evans. I mean, really, I think he would do okay.
I'd be fine with it.
I don't think he's as vital.
Yeah.
I think he'd be great. I mean, if you've ever seen Baywatch with him and The Rock, he basically played Johnny Storm in that movie. Yeah. So I mean, he could do it. He's shredded. But and this is where we could get in some trouble. Well, I'm not even criticizing it, but let's just be real. The chances of an all Caucasian Fantastic Four are zero. Are zero. It's just a matter of who is
a minority, though.
Yeah, I don't know if they'll go ahead and do another person of color for Johnny Storm like they did in the last one, or if they'll make Reed. I don't know. I mean, well, if we want to be technical, Jessica Alba is at least mostly Latino or partially. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you could argue and say, well, she was.
They cannot make Ben Grimm a. I don't know. I mean, they have to make him a white Jewish guy.
Well, I know you're right. It's like everyone gets ate up about every other kind of person of color or heritage, should you say? And it's like it's a big deal that Ben is Jewish. I mean, that's kind of a big part of his character. A Jewish guy from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Or from Brooklyn. I mean, that's his deal. So yeah, it was, but they're not. I mean, we can whine and cry about it all we want. That we'd love to see it represented like how we've read for the last 50 years, but it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I want to say this. You said something about Woody Harrelson and his acting on how he can play comedic. I'm telling you, Zac Efron can too. Because Zac Efron has been very funny, and then he can be very serious, and I think it's just a good mix. And I do think he would be the perfect next Chris Evans type of an actor in the MCU.
Here's who I like. Zac Efron a lot. He's got superhero physique. He's got superhero swagger. I want him desperately to be Nova. I think he's like perfect casting as Rich Rider. What do you think? Rich Rider, Zac Efron.
Yes.
Perfect. It writes itself, man. We're not going to get that, though. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It's perfect.
You're going to have a undernourished teenage boy being Sam Alexander
Don't you ever say that again.
Hey, flow back to last week. He said the same thing.
I don't think the only thing that I do worry about is I don't know if Zac Efron would be interested enough to do anything in the MCU.
He might not be. Yeah, I mean that's the other thing. Let's just say, oh hey,
Why don't you
Feige
think he
wants
will?
him. But he might not.
I just
He
think
might
he's
not.
enjoying what he's doing in life right now down in Australia and doing whatever he wants, and his mindset has sort of changed from acting to stuff about life and creating like a series on Netflix or whatever about his everyday kind of life and doing what he wants to do. And his passion is right now the world, from what I'm seeing. And I just don't know if he has a passion for acting like he used to.
He might not. But I'll tell you what, if and they're not going to, because let's be honest, he's a white straight male. It's not going to happen. But you get that Feige, Marvel, Disney money. Said, hey man, we want you to be Nova. He's going to be a huge, massive part of the MCU. Might be 10 years of your life, but after that, you're going to be absolutely set. You can do whatever the hell you want, direct, produce, go do documentaries or whatever. It might be a hard gig to pass up. But
And he is the age. He's 33.
Really?
Yeah, oh my gosh, he's perfect for Rich. I just it writes itself. But
Who do you feel is going to be bigger in the MCU in 10 years, Human Torch or Nova?
right now I think Nova, only because, and I'm not biased. Well, I am. No, I am totally biased. Yeah, no, I'm totally biased, but only because Nova has his own solo project.
Yeah.
Whereas at the end of the day, Human Torch is always going to be a part of a team. I don't really see the need, desire, want from fans to see a Human Torch solo project. He's going to be part of the Fantastic Four. So while Nova is either going to have a Disney Plus or his own movie. So yeah.
We got to figure out what's going to happen with the MCU is what we have to figure out is that next core that's going to be like Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and Hulk and not Scarlet Witch, but Black Widow.
Widow,
You got to find that core of 5 or 6, and are they going to be able to push you to the next? And I don't think Brie Larson's part of that core because she's an in-between. She's going to carry it until that other core can carry it from then on for the next 10 years. So that's going to be the hard part. And they can't do the same characters. You can't do Captain America again and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to have to go Nova. You're going to have to go all different type of characters.
Yeah. This is why it worries me about the MCU is that they keep painting themselves in a corner. Because their biggest characters are Steve Rogers, Tony Stark, Thor. Those and the Hulk, Bruce Banner Hulk.
Mhm.
Those are your guys, man. I mean, you've got Tom Holland as Spider-Man that could go on for a long time, but you've already written off 2 of your big guys. Like they're gone. Tony Stark and Steve Rogers gone. It's like, guess what? In comic books, you do have guys that kind of come and go as far as popularity, but you always have those guys leading the charge. Any event comic, any big thing going on, you have at least 1 or 2 of those guys as a big part of it. And so the comic world, you can do that perpetually, forever. Your biggest guys are always going to be around. And DC has always done that too, with multiple Superman, multiple Batman, and they don't worry about, they recast. Well, the MCU is structured in a way now. It's like, well, we can't recast Tony Stark because he's Robert Downey Jr. We can't recast Steve Rogers. He's Chris Evans. We can't recast Thor. He's Chris Hemsworth. Now what do? You got to wait freaking years before you even attempt to bring those characters back. It's going to hurt them.
Well, I mean, I think that's a devastating part of the way the way they wrote Steve Rogers in the MCU. I mean, is emotionally. I thought it was so clever what they did with him in Endgame, and I think it was pretty awesome what they did, you know, with concern to his character and his decision to go back and live his life the way he wanted to live it. But again, I think it's still, you eliminate such a powerful character in Steve Rogers. And it's nothing
Exactly.
it's nothing against Sam. I think Sam's amazing.
No, I do. I really do. I love Sam.
I do.
Yeah.
But again, Sam and Steve sound better than Sam. And
I agree.
I mean, I think that's maybe why I got ate up when we talked about, you know, Sam's little bash on blonde hair, blue eyes, Steve Roger there. So like I mean, that's one of the duos that I love the most was Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. Man,
Yeah, they made a great team. They make a great team. Yeah.
I do.
I think though Disney, Marvel, you can see exactly what they're trying to do. They're not going to make a new Steve Rogers or a new Thor. They're now making a character become them. Like the mantle is passed to those
they're doing
characters.
Yep.
And
they're doing legacy characters.
It's not going to work.
It is not going to work. It's a great little side story, just like in the comics. You're like, oh, hey, it's fun to have Lady Thor for a while. It's fun to have Sam Cap for a while. I don't mind that because I know Steve and Thor are coming back. So I'll give it a year and a half, and it's fun.
So how
it's going to be even cooler when they come back?
In your opinion there, how can they do it? If they wanted to bring Steve Rogers back, how can they do it? Do they have to go back, like farther back? Or how can they bring that character back?
I think the only thing you can do with the MCU is they're going to embrace the multiverse like DC is doing, which is, in my opinion, DC is smart. That's the one thing they've done that's smart. Mostly they do stupid things about the multiverse, because then you're like, hey, we can go ahead and have Robert Pattinson over here as Batman, and we can have maybe, you know, there's still a outside chance you do an HBO Max Ben Affleck Batman. And it's like, hey, it's fine because it's a multiverse, different worlds. I think that's what the MCU is going to have to do. And maybe with Multiverse of Madness, it opens up that door with the past Spider-Man coming back to where you say, hey, let's give Sam a little time as Cap, but then we have a multiverse Steve Rogers as Captain America, and we have a Captain America Steve Rogers movie again. It's just in a different world.
Mm-hmm. Do you think the audience will accept that not being Chris Evans?
I think they will. Yeah. You think they won't? Everyone's like, oh, you know, you can't ever see anyone. No, they will. It's just, we've done it with Bond, we've done it with Batman, we've done it with Superman, we've done it with Jack Ryan all the time. How many other characters have we? Robin Hood.
Yep.
Zorro. I mean, just start naming all these classic characters that you can't have someone play all the time.
That's the only thing that worries me of what they're doing with T'Challa. And I think they're doing it way wrong. And not because I don't want a girl in it. It's because that character is too important for the overall thing.
Shuri is totally different than T'Challa. I mean,
yeah, she's her own character.
Yeah, and why would we want to take away from that character? And
right,
it's no offense to Mr. Bosman. I mean, like, he did great as T'Challa, and what a terrible ending. Like, I mean, it breaks my heart to think that he died in the way he did. But I mean, like, no one will ever think of anybody but him as Black Panther. But we must go on. I mean, as much as I love some of the most recent Batmans, like I still love the Michael Keatons.
Yeah.
You know, it brings up my childhood and whatnot. So Mr. Bosman is like, you know, Chadwick Boseman is not, he's never going to be displaced as Black Panther.
I feel that
it's just, go ahead.
I just feel that they could do something with Black Panther 2 coming out that is a big tribute to him and the sadness that we are as the actor. But like you said, Black Panther, the character, is going to live, and we are
He
going
has
to
to.
celebrate Chadwick. But we are now, here's going to be how we do it. We're going to keep his legacy alive through Black Panther.
Right.
And
I mean, let's look. Right. Let's look at Superman. Christopher Reeve is still regarded as the best Superman, and his legacy will live on forever. It's like he will be fondly remembered. He will always be remembered as one of the best Superman. But guess what? We all still love Superman so much, and there's other people like a Henry Cavill that can play him amazing as well. And we want to see Superman.
Mm-hmm.
We want to see Clark Kent Superman. So it's just like Bond. Most people are not going to say, who's your favorite Bond? Well, it's going to be Sean Connery 9 times out of 10. But that doesn't mean I didn't freaking love Pierce Brosnan as Bond. I love Daniel Craig. He does a great job. Heck, I love Roger Moore. I grew up on Roger Moore. So it's like, you are correct. T'Challa as a character is vastly too important to just put on the shelf and say, oh, well, he died. I mean, it's like, are you serious right now? I get honoring Chadwick and that, but to just put his character away is a huge disservice to the character. And if they want to have a black superhero that people can look up to, why would you put that character on the shelf? It's really not a great long-term idea.
Yeah. And it's also setting a precedent because, God forbid, what happens if Brie Larson passed away tomorrow in a car wreck?
Exactly.
What do? You've already done it for this one. So
Right.
Now is Captain Marvel done forever?
It's like, well, Carol's done. We'll just go with Ms. Marvel then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it would be like us ending Spider-Man after Tobey Maguire.
Right.
I am in big favor, and I'm probably in a small minority with Andrew Garfield. I thought he was amazing. I thought
he's really underrated.
Yeah, I mean it is. And as much as I love Tom Holland, I was just actually talking to someone about this the other day. Like, Tom Holland has been great, but like I'm so confused about his origin. I am so confused about, okay, Tom Holland has this super strength, and we have this idea that, man, Tom Holland could, as Peter Parker, he can beat the crap out of. But where did this come from? Is this the same lineage as Mr. Garfield on the side? Or, I just don't understand
Well,
it.
I mean, I guess you kind of have to realize that as an audience member, though, did you really want to see a third origin for Tom Holland?
I didn't, but it was awfully confusing for me to see a third Spider-Man and not know, okay, he has this resiliency of getting the living crap beat out of him and stuff, but he has these Tony Stark, type web shooters. He has everything developed by Tony Stark. Like, his origin has been so crapped on. Like, I don't.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. He's
how
right.
they age.
He became Iron Kid instead of Spider-Man. Like,
sure,
the little sidekick to Iron Man instead of being his own person. Now, they alluded to him being his own man at the end of Far From Home, or alluded that he can become more Spider-Man.
Sure.
And that's good. I think that's where they're going. But yeah, I mean, you got 2 movies of Spider-Man so far in the MCU, and there's a lot of great things about his performance, but there's also a lot of like, man, if you really want to break it down, Andrew Garfield was the best Spider-Man in bad movies.
Mm.
You
Yep.
know, the movies weren't great. They weren't well written. The stories were convoluted, messy. But holy crap, you know, Andrew Garfield was like the perfect Spider-Man. He had the
Yes.
perfect cockiness, quippiness. Um, he was really, really, really underrated, and I think he was the best Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Mm.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm gonna go on a weird one on that one, but I do enjoy Tom Holland. I like his kid type personality, especially in Civil War. You know, when he's like in awe of everybody. He's like, "Hey, I took
Yeah,
Captain America's
I
shield."
And I think Tony and his relationship is perfect. Tom Holland and Tony Stark's Robert Downey Jr.'s relationship is like something almost that brought a tear to my eye in Endgame. Like, I mean, like,
no, it was good. That part
oh,
was good.
oh my God. I mean, I think it was amazing that I think that was the turning tables of Tony Stark, Iron Man, is just like, yeah, I'll give up my child to because Peter Parker meant so much to me. And I mean, I think that was, if he didn't have that, he wouldn't give two hoots and we wouldn't be where we were in the MCU.
Mm.
Yeah, Tom is really good in that sense. I think if you're, I can say that though because I'm not a huge Spider-Man fan. I like it. I like him, but he's not. He's definitely lower on my, uh, I don't know, fan admiration. So it's like, oh yeah. To me, it's like if I just going, who is the best Spider-Man from the books? It's Andrew Garfield by a mile. Uh, and Tom Holland is good, really good. But how he's written is like, I don't know, that's not really Spider-Man per se, but still pretty good. So it's fine for me. Whereas, you know, I'm the Superman guy. So I that's where I, you know, if this is Superman, and then I'm like, okay, I'm definitely more critical.
Yeah. I don't know what else I have. Do you all have anything else?
I got one thing, guys, and then we'll end our stream. But you know, today we had some minor news on Snake Eyes, GI Joe Origins. So Entertainment Weekly did a little write up of the Snake Eyes movie that's coming out in July. So they did not show any pictures of him in costume in live action. We have pictures of him in costume in toys, but you know, that movie's coming out in July. I'm super excited. I mean, Snake Eyes is, I mean, when we were kids, I mean, I was there when GI Joe came out, 1982.
Yep.
You know, or at least the American Hero version of GI Joe.
Go up to Ben Franklin and get those toys.
We went up to Ben Franklin and begged, borrowed, and steal, trying to get those GI Joes. So, man, Snake
No
Eyes,
way.
I'm super pumped for that. I cannot. Oh, so go check it out, entertainmentweekly.com. Look at the photos, read the write up about it, and then Sunday is the new trailer. So I'm super excited. I am a little worried because Snake Eyes does not take his mask off, nor does he speak. Well, of
Mm.
course and not to get all ate up about race and what have you, but historically, Snake Eyes is an American white guy who befriends his Asian brother, Storm Shadow. Well, Snake Eyes is Asian in this, which fine. I don't have a problem with that. What I worry about though is, you know, you got a handsome Asian guy from Crazy Rich Asians, and you know, he's not going to put on the Snake Eyes mask until the last 5 minutes of the movie. I'm a little worried about that, but we will reserve judgment until we see, and I'm super excited for that one. And then lastly, you got the Kevin Smith produced, show ran, huge superstar all-star voice cast for the new He-Man cartoon on Netflix. By the way, Netflix is going all in on Masters of the Universe. They have not one but two animated series coming to Netflix. One is Masters of the Universe Revelations with Kevin Smith running it. It's in an anime style, but man, it looks amazing. They showed pictures of it today. Looks great. And then they have a CGI version of He-Man coming out later called He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And Sony and Netflix are still working, although it's perpetually being worked on, a live action He-Man movie. So that'll happen when I'm 90. But they say they're working on it.
Well, I think you find a lot of solace in the idea that Kevin Smith is touching this. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Go
he's
wrong in
huge into He-Man too, so he's gonna make this happen.
Oh, sure. And
Yeah.
Kevin Smith is just he loves comics just as much as any of us, and he's not going to let us go astray with concern to.
No. Yeah, I think we're and his show is supposed to pick up, carry on the story traits, the characterizations from the old cartoons and the old comics. I mean, it's going to be our He-Man. Whereas the other CGI He-Man show on Netflix, I think is going to be it's kind of a revamped its own thing, which is cool.
Yeah.
As a He-Man fan, I mean, like, I'm all He-Man, man. It's like that's still the toy that I'll get the toys for these new versions, and that's probably my most beloved collection is the He-Man stuff. So super excited for that. So July, I think, is the debut for the He-Man cartoon Revelations on Netflix, and then I think July 23rd is Snake Eyes as well in theaters. So
That sounds good.
yep.
I'm for that. Anything else, Ref?
No.
What you got?
He was
I got
hashtagging.
nothing.
Hey, product placement. If you have not yet, go run to your local music store and pick up the new album by Greta Van Fleet. Do it right now.
Oh, it's amazing, guys.
Battle at Gardens Gate. If you don't get that album right now, you're a fool.
I guess.
I pity the fool.
Call me a fool then.
You get that album. You get it right now. You
Spotify.
It's a lot better
I got
than
Spotify.
Kiss. It's a lot better than Kiss.
It is not better than Kiss, but it is really good.
It's better than Van Halen.
What?
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
No.
Whoa.
It's the modern day Led Zeppelin, guys. Greta Van Fleet is amazing. I'm a Led Zeppelin fan. Far beyond I can see, and Greta.
They do get criticized a little bit for being Zeppelin-esque a lot, but it doesn't matter when their songs are so freaking good. I don't give a crap if they sound like Zeppelin. They're freaking awesome. Get that album. Go listen to it. Well, no one buys albums anymore. Go stream it right now.
Yeah,
Go get your vinyl, guys.
Do it.
All right.
Yeah. You go get your CD.
Well, that is it from me. Is it from you, Ace? Is it from you, Ref?
No.
That is all.
Make sure you subscribe and continue to like our channel.
I have spoken.
Watching.
This is the way.
All right. We will see you next week. See ya.
Adios.